That was in the year of 2. Joined Apple Pickers Union. I always keep my dues. I'm the man that signed the contract.
Well, if it ain't... Hello, buddy.
How do you do, Mr. Zero? I'm very glad to see you again.
Same here. I wasn't expecting to see you neither. This sure is a nice place. I wouldn't mind resting here a while.
You may if you wish.
My feet are kind of tired. I ain't used to so much walking. I ain't used to being outdoors.
Sit down here under the tree.
Do they let you sit on the grass?
Oh, yes.
Boy, it sure feels good. I'll tell the world my feet are sore. I ain't used to so much walking. Say, I wonder would it be all right if I took my shoes off?
Yes, some of the people here go barefoot.
Oh, yeah? They sure must be nuts. But I'm going to leave them off for a while, as long as it's okay. Oh, grass feels nice and cool. This sure is the life of Riley, all right, all right. This sure is a nice place. What do they call it?
The Elysian Fields.
The which?
The Elysian Fields.
Ah, well, it sure is nice, all right.
They say it's the most desirable of all places. Only the most preferred remain here.
Yeah? That lets me out, I guess. But what are you doing here? I thought you'd be burned by now.
Mr. Zero, I'm the most unhappy of men.
Why? Because you ain't been roasted alive?
Nothing is turning out the way I expected. I saw it all so clearly. The flames, the torments, an eternity of suffering is just punishment for my unspeakable crime. But it has all turned out so differently.
Well, that's pretty soft for you, ain't it?
No, no, no. It is right and just that I should be punished. I could have endured it stoically. All through those endless ages of indescribable torment, I should have exulted in the magnificence of divine justice. But this is maddening. What becomes of justice? What becomes of morality? What becomes of right and wrong? It's maddening, simply maddening. Oh, if Dr. Elmer were only here to advise me.
You mean they ain't called you for cutting your mother's throat?
No, it's terrible, terrible. I was prepared for anything, but this.
Well, what did they say to you?
Only that I was to come here and remain until I understood.
I don't get it. What do they want you to understand?
I don't know. Oh, if only I had an inkling of what they meant. Just listen quietly for a moment. Do you hear anything?
No?
You don't hear any music, do you?
Music? No, I don't hear nothing.
The people here say the music never stops.
They're kidding you.
You think so?
Sure, there ain't a sound.
Perhaps. They're capable of anything. But I haven't told you of the bitterest of my disappointments.
Well, spill it. I'm getting used to hearing bad news.
When I came here, my first thought was to find my dear mother. I wanted to ask her forgiveness, and I wanted her to help me understand.
And she couldn't do it?
She's not here. Oh. Here where only the most preferred dwell. That wisest and purest of spirits is nowhere to be found. I don't understand it. Oh, if you could only see some of the people here that
Wait a minute,
do.
Wait a minute. I think somebody's calling me. What the hell's that now? Wonder if the wife is on my trail already. She gotta be swell, didn't it? And I figured on her being good for another 20 years anyhow. No, that ain't her voice. Yo! Ain't that just the way? Just when a fellow's having a good time and laying around? she comes, whoever she is. Well, Auntie, what do you know about that?
Oh, I thought I'd never catch up to you. I've been following you for days, calling and calling. Didn't you hear me?
I heard just now. You don't call windy.
Oh, I sure am. I can't hardly catch my breath.
Come and sit down and take a load off your feet. It's all right. He's a friend of mine. Buddy, I'd like you to meet my friend, Mr. Vore.
How do you do, Mr. Vore?
How do?
He's a friend of mine. I guess you don't mind if she sits down and cools off a while, do you?
Oh, no, certainly not.
I was just taking a rest myself. Took my shoes off on account of my feet being so sore.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired too. Say, ain't it pretty here though?
Yeah, it is at that.
What they call this place?
Well, he was telling me a minute ago, I can't remember, some kind of fields. I forget now. Say, buddy, what do they call this place again? He don't hear me. He's thinking again.
What's the matter with him?
Why, he's the guy that murdered his mother, remember?
Oh yeah, is that him?
Yeah. And he had it all figured out how they were going to roast him or something, and now they're not going to do anything to him, and it's kind of got his goat.
Oh,
Yeah, it takes it kind of hard.
looks like a nice young fella.
Well, you sure are good for sore eyes. I never expected to see you here.
I thought maybe you'd be kind of surprised.
Surprised is right. When did you pass out?
Oh, right after you did, a couple of days.
Yeah? What happened? Get hit by a truck or something?
No. You see, it's this way. I blew out the gas.
Oh, what was the big idea?
I don't know. You see, I lost my job.
I bet you're sorry you did it now, ain't you?
No, I ain't sorry, not a bit. Say, Mr. Zero, I've been thinking.
What?
I've been thinking it would be kind of nice if the two of us, you and me, we could kind of talk things over.
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. And you and me, we ain't really ever talked things over before, have we?
No, that's right, we ain't. Well, let's go to it.
I was thinking if we could be alone, just the two of us, see?
Oh, yeah, I get it. He's dead to the world. Say, buddy! Say, buddy!
Were you speaking to me?
Yeah, how'd you guess it? I was thinking maybe you'd like to walk around a little and look for your mother.
That's no use. I've looked everywhere.
Maybe over there. They might know.
No, I've searched everywhere. She's not here.
This is an old shirt. My friend and I, see, we used to work in the same store together, and we got some business to talk over, see. Kind of confidential. So if it ain't asking too much.
Why, certainly. Excuse me.
He's a good guy at that.
Sure is pretty here, ain't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Look at them flowers, ain't they just perfect? Why, you'd think they was artificial, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
And the smell of them. Like perfume.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm crazy about the country, ain't you?
Yeah, it's nice for a change.
Them store picnics, remember?
You bet. It sure was fun.
One time, I guess you don't remember, the two of us, me and you, we sat down on the grass together under a tree, just like we're doing now.
Sure, I remember.
For one, I'll bet you don't.
I bet I do. It was the year the wife didn't go.
That's right, I didn't think you'd remember.
And coming home, we sat together in the truck.
Yeah. Mr. Cyril, there's something I always wanted to ask you.
Well, why didn't you?
Well, I don't know, it didn't seem refined. But I'm gonna ask you now anyhow.
Go ahead, shoot.
Well, while we was coming home, you put your arm upon the bench behind me, and I could feel your knee kind of pressing against mine.
Yeah? Well, what about it?
What I wanted to ask you was it just kind of accidental?
Sure, it was accidental. Accidental on purpose.
Do you mean it?
Sure, I mean it. You mean to say you didn't know it?
No, I've been wanting to ask you for the longest
Then
time.
why did you get sore?
So I wasn't sore. When was I sore?
That night, sure you were sore. You wasn't sore, why did you move away?
Just to see if you meant it. I thought if you meant it, you'd move up closer, and then when you took your arm away from me, I was sure you didn't mean it.
And all the time I thought you were sore, that's why I took my arm away. I thought if I moved up, you'd holler or something, and I'd be in a jam like you read about in the papers all the time about guys getting pulled in for annoying women.
No, I was wishing you'd put your arm around me, just sitting there wishing all the way home.
That sure is hard luck, that is. If I'd only knew it. You know what I felt like doing, only I didn't have the nerve.
What?
I felt like kissing you.
Oh, I wanted you to.
You would have let me?
I wanted you to. I wanted you to. Oh, why didn't you?
I didn't have the nerve. I sure was a dumbbell.
I would have let you all you wanted to. I wouldn't have cared. I know it would have been wrong, but I wouldn't have cared. I wasn't thinking about right and wrong at all. See, I didn't care. I just wanted you to kiss me.
If I'd only knew it. I wanted to, I swear I did, but I didn't think you cared nothing about me.
I never cared nothing about nobody else.
You mean it? On the level, you're not kidding me.
I ain't kidding you. I mean it. I ain't never had the nerve to tell you before, but now I don't care. It don't make no difference now. I mean it, every word of it.
If I'd only knew it.
Listen to me, there's something else I want to tell you. I may as well tell you everything now. Don't make no difference now. About my blowing out the gas, see? Do you know why I done it?
Yeah, you told me, on account of the ink can.
I just told you that that ain't the real reason. The real reason's on account of you.
You mean on account of me passing out?
Yeah, that's it. I didn't want to go on living before. What did I want to go on living for? I didn't have nothing to live for with you gone. I often thought of doing it before, but I never had the nerve. And anyhow, I didn't want to leave you.
And all the time me bawling you out about reading too fast and reading too slow.
Did you do it?
I don't know, I swear I don't. I was always stuck on you. And when I'd be adding them figures, I'd be thinking about how if the wife died, you and I could get married.
I used to think of that too.
And before I knew it, I'd be bawling you out.
Then was the times I think of blowing out the gas. I never did till you was gone. Wasn't nothing to live for then. It wasn't so easy to do anyhow. I never could stand the smell of gas. And all the while I was getting ready, stuffing up all the cracks the way you read about in the papers. I was thinking of you and hoping that I'd meet you again. And I made up my mind if I ever did see you, I'd tell you.
I'm sure glad you did. I'm sure glad. But it don't do much good now, does it?
No, I guess it don't. There's one thing I'm going to ask you.
What's that?
I want you to kiss me.
You bet I will.
Oh, not like that. I don't mean like that. I mean really kiss me on the mouth. I ain't never been kissed like that. Oh, so that's what it's like. I didn't know it could be like that. I didn't know anything could be like that.
Your cheeks are red. They're all red and your eyes are shining. I never saw your eyes shining like that before.
Listen, do you hear it? Do you hear the music?
No, I don't hear nothing.
Music, yeah, listen and you'll hear it.
Yeah, I hear it now. He said there was music, but I didn't hear it until just now.
Ain't it grand?
Swell. Say, you know what?
What?
It makes me feel like dancing.
Yeah, me too.
Come on, let's dance.
Oh, I can't dance. I ain't danced in 20 years.
It's nothing, I ain't neither. Come on, I feel just like a kid.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me fix my skirt.
Wait a minute, let me get my wig. Ooh, I need it. I ain't used to dancing. My heart's going a mile a minute.
Why don't you lay down and rest? You can put your head on my lap.
That ain't a bad idea.
It was swell, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you gotta get used to it.
Just imagine if we could stay there all the time, the two of us together. Wouldn't that be swell?
Yeah, but there ain't a chance.
Won't they let us stay?
No, this place is only for the good ones.
Well, we ain't so bad, are we?
Go on. Me a murderer and you committing suicide? Anyhow, they wouldn't stand for us here the way we've been carrying on.
I don't see why.
You don't? You know it ain't right, don't you? Ain't I got a wife?
Not anymore, you don't. When you're dead, that ends it. Don't they always say until death do us part?
Well, you may be right about that, but anyhow, they wouldn't stand for us here.
It would be swell. The two of us together. Oh, we could make up for all them years.
Yeah, I wish we could.
We sure were fools. But I don't care. I've got you know.
I'm sure crazy about you. With your cheeks all red, I never seen you looking so pretty. And you got swell hair.
We got each other now, ain't we?
Yeah, I'm sure crazy about you. Daisy. That's a pretty name. It's a flower, ain't it? Well, that's what you are, just like a flower.
We can always be together now, can't we?
As long as they let us. Huh, I'm sure crazy about you.
What's the matter?
He's coming back.
Was that all? What about it?
You don't want him to see us laying around like this, do you?
I don't care if he does.
Well, you ought to care. You don't want him to think he ain't a refined girl. He's an awful moral bird.
I don't care nothing about him. I don't care nothing about anybody but you.
I know, but we don't want people talking about us. You better put your skirt down. Well, you got back all right, I see.
I hope I haven't returned too soon.
Well, no, not at all. We were just sitting around having a talk, see?
We were wishing we could always stay here.
You may if you like.
What?
Yes, just as I said. Only the most favored do remain, but anyone
thought
may.
you were telling me there must be a catch to it somewheres.
It don't matter so long as we can stay.
We were thinking about getting married, see?
You may or may not, just as you like.
You don't mean to say we could stay if we didn't, do you?
Yes, they don't care.
And there are some here that aren't married?
Yes.
I don't know about this place at that. They must be a kind of mixed crowd.
It don't matter so long as we got each other.
Yeah, but you don't want to be hanging around with people that ain't respectable.
Can we get married right away? I guess there must be a lot of ministers here, ain't there?
Not as many as I'd hoped to find. The two who seem most beloved are Dean Swift and the Abbé Rabelais. They are both much admired for some indecent tales which they've written.
What? Ministers writing smutty stories? Say, what kind of a dump is this anyhow?
I don't know, Mr. Zero. The people here are so strange, so unlike the good people I've known. They seem to think only of enjoyment or wasting their time in profitless occupations. Some paint pictures from morning till night or carve blocks of stone. Others write songs or put words together day in and day out. Still others just lie under the trees and look at the sky. But there are men who spend all their time reading books and women who think only of adorning themselves. And forever they're telling tales and laughing and singing and drinking and dancing. There are drunkards, thieves, vagabonds, blasphemers, adulterers. There's one...
That's enough! I've heard enough.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna beat it, that's what I'm gonna do.
You said you liked it here.
Like it? You don't mean you want to stay here, do you, with a lot of loafers and rummies and bums?
We don't have to bother with them. We can just sit here together and look at the flowers and listen to the music.
Music? Did you hear music?
Sure, don't you hear it?
They say it never stops, but I've never heard it.
I thought I heard it before, but I don't hear nothing now. I must have been dreaming. Say, what's the quickest way out of this place?
Won't you stay just a little longer?
Didn't you hear me say I'm going? Goodbye, Mr. Bohr. I'm gonna beat it.
I won't ever see him again.
Are you going to stay here?
It don't make no difference now. Without him, I might as well be alive.